Hey guys, Chuck Shumwell here at Southgate Ford, and yeah, I'm at it again. You know, today I had a customer that reminded me of, you know, what I believe in as far as lease versus buying. And you've all seen the video. I've got over 10,000 views on the video of why you should lease opposed to buying. And you know, for 29 years that I've been in this business, I've been in this business all my life. I'm going to be 49 years old in February. And for 29 years of those 49 years, I've been in this car business. And for the last, say, 12 years, other than the last year and a half, I have managed subprime dealers, which is used cars. And, you know, if you have bad credit, you have to pretty much buy a used car because banks really don't give loans on the subprime side on a new car. So we did very well at that. And the only difference between me and everybody else, because I was the manager, I made sure that the people were treated the way they should be treated and not jammed into a car that they couldn't afford. So I've always based my career and I've always trained the people that worked for me to do what was best for the customer so that we would have a good reputation and they would come back later. But, you know, after all the banks went south and everything, I decided to go into new cars or back into new cars because my roots were originally in new cars way back in the late 80s, starting out then. And, you know, leasing has always been a big deal, and I'm a firm believer in leasing. And I have a video on leasing, and I'll post that on my page if you guys want to watch it. But the comparison to leasing versus buying is all in that video, and I'll post it so you can see it. But here's a question I get almost at least once a week, and today was another time. So I had a fella come in today. He had a trade-in, and I took it over. I got the amount that I could pay him for the car, and he had a little bit of negative equity. He drives a lot of miles, and he said, well, you know, Chuck, I want to get out of this type of car. I want to get out of a Mustang, and I want to get into an Explorer. I said, okay, well, let me show you some options. And I showed him the purchase options because he's dead set on buying this vehicle again, and he drives 30,000 miles a year. Those are real miles that he drives. And I said to the customer, I says, listen, let me show you another option. I said, have you ever thought about leasing? He says, I always thought about leasing, but I drive way too many miles to lease. It will never work. And I said, you know what? You're the person that needs to lease, because that car that you're driving is going to depreciate the same amount of time, miles, and money no matter what you do. If you buy it or if you lease it, it doesn't matter. It's going to still depreciate the same amount of money. So I showed him a 3-year lease, and he drove 30,000 miles a year. So at the end of 3 years, he would have 90,000 miles. So I showed him a 3-year lease and a 3-year buy. It was less. I showed him a 3-year lease and a 4-year buy. It was less. I showed him a 3-year lease and a 5 and a 6 and a 7-year buy. It was less. I said, listen, you've got a vehicle, and I included on both of them a 100,000-mile warranty. That means that no matter what goes wrong for the 100,000 miles, you're taken care of. So I had him included in both of those. And it was still less for him to lease that at 30,000 miles. What most salespeople don't understand or don't know or don't want to tell you or don't really want to bother with it is that we can do 99,999 miles on any lease term. So if you have a vehicle and you're a high mileage driver, and that vehicle is going to depreciate as soon as you drive it off the lot, and you want to take it for a 5, 6, 7-year loan, and your payment is going to be higher than leasing it, and you can dump it in 3 years if you leased it for less money per month, what's the question there? So I want to own it. You want to own a 7-year vehicle with 150,000 miles on it? Why do you want to own that? It doesn't make any sense. My job is to sell you a car. That's how I feed my family. There's no secret about that. I want to sell you a car. I want to lease you a car. I want to lease your family and your friends and everybody that you know, and I'll send you checks. But Also, I take it seriously. My job is to make sure that what you do is in the best interest for you and your family. I don't need your sale. I don't need you to come to me and buy a car. I want you to. And if you have a salesperson that's too lazy to figure out all the numbers, or the manager's not going to give them the numbers to take the time to say, hey, this is what's best for you and your family, then come see me. I'll be more than willing to send you all the information right to your cell phone. You don't even have to come in. I don't even care if you're buying a Chevy or a Dodge. It doesn't matter. I will still give you good advice. So if you're a high mileage driver and you're putting on 30,000 miles a year and you want to see a 3-year lease, that means you've got 30,000 miles on that vehicle, or 30,000 miles per year. So after 3 years, you've got 90,000 miles on that vehicle, and you've still paid less. And if you were to buy it for a 72-month, which is 6 years, there's nothing to talk about after that. You know what? After 3 years, I come in, I got 90,000 miles on this vehicle, I dump it, and I move on, and I still paid less to drive the exact same vehicle for less money for 3 years. There is nothing you can say. Oh, well, there is. Let me say this. If you're retired and you pay cash for a vehicle and you're going to park it in a garage and you don't pay 1 cent to a bank to borrow money, and you only take the vehicle to church and the grocery store once a week, and both ways are downhill, and you got the warranty on it to last you for 100,000 miles or 10 years, then you know what? You probably should just buy the car, because I don't have an argument there. But if you're financing that vehicle, there is nothing you can say to make me understand why you would ever invest money into something that depreciates opposed to leasing something that depreciates. You know, things like homes. Homes appreciate most times. They should. You want to invest your money in that. You want to lease things or rent things that depreciate, because you don't want to be bothered with the end value of that. So, you know, I had to come on tonight to show the example, because not often do I get somebody that comes in and says, I drive 30,000 miles a year, and they want to take their negative equity from their trade-in and add it to the next loan. And I says, listen, hold up, stop, let me show you something. My job is to teach you and to train you what I know after 29 years on how to drive that vehicle for the least amount of cash. I'm never going to try to twist you in. I'm never going to introduce you to a manager to try to bring you in. You buy it today or you lose money. That's not my style. That's not what I have to do. Like I said earlier, I don't need your sale. I want to help you buy a vehicle. And I understand the concept of people do not care about how much you know until they know how much you care. And I really care about my customers. I really care about you because I want you to come back to me. I want you to send your friends and your family to me. I want to help you save the most amount of money that I possibly can. I want to make sure the vehicle is set and clean. I want to get a good survey from you. And I want to do well in life. That's my goal. I want to do well in life. And by selling cars and helping people buy cars is how I feed my family. So why shouldn't I take it seriously? You're not just a car payment. You're not just a house payment. You're my customer. Once you become my customer, you become kind of, to me, part of my family. I add you to my social media, and you're welcome to ask me any question anytime that you want to. But you know what? Come see me. You'll never have any bull. I always post the real deal. I don't give you any crap. I don't stress you. I don't make you want to buy. I don't make you giving you your phone number and your address and all this other crap. All I want to do is give you the real numbers. And if you decide to let me help you, then I'm grateful. I'm really grateful, because that's when I'm able to help my family, is when you let me help you. So, Chuck Shimwell, Southgate Ford. I know I do a lot of videos. Guys, check me out, follow me, friend me, whatever you got to do. But I'm going to always tell you the truth. If you need help with subprime, with his bad credit, or if you're just looking at for a trade-in or a Carfax on a vehicle that you're buying from a personal vehicle, personal owner, send it to me. If you're looking for a sale and you're sitting at another dealership in Taylor or Flat Rock or Redford or whatever it is, just send me a vendor. I'll give you the real numbers on it. I got nothing to hide because, at the end of the day, it's all about who gives the real deal. I give the real deal. I will never charge you a doc fee, and doc fee is something that people just charge you for or typing the paperwork, and it's like $200 or more, a little bit less, but it's like $200 on average. And you know what? We always offer the first oil change for free. So it's a good place to be. Chuck Shellwell, Southgate Ford, 734-642-6681. It is where you can text me any question you have, whether it's about a Ford or just, credit, bad credit. I'm an expert on that because I ran dealerships and did very well with subprime for 10 plus years. So I can give you all the advice you need, but contact me. Don't think that I'm just out there to try to sell you a car and twist you into something that's not going to benefit you and your family, because I really do care. I really do care. So you guys have a great night. God bless you. Merry Christmas, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.